Welcome to Megapath Presents. I'm Ronnie Hayes, and today let's talk The Walking Dead Season 7, Episode 16 predictions. I had to look down because I was like, wait a minute, Episode 15? What the hell? For some reason, I wrote Episode 15 and 16 because I heard them say it's going to be an extended episode, and for some reason I thought they were combining 15 and 16, but I don't know. I just had a stupid moment. Anyway, let's scroll through. If you're watching the trailer, we're going to go from the beginning of to the end, so if you go and watch the trailer, this discussion will start from that beginning to the end, so you'll know where we're at. You don't need to. I'm just saying, if you want to hear what I have to say and then go back and check and look for yourself and maybe come up with some predictions and then come back here and put them in the comment box, I'm doing it from beginning to end. Now, the sneak peek, we'll get that out of the way. It looks like that's just a pep talk between Ezekiel and Morgan. And what I thought was neat is if you check the trailer, it looks like Morgan might be blocking the road. We're going to get to that because that's kind of odd, but it would make sense for what's in the sneak peek. That is basically just a pep talk with Ezekiel saying, Morgan, are you going to fight with us? Which I thought that was kind of odd because I thought that was a no-brainer. But maybe Morgan's on this kind of, lone soldier type mentality. But yeah, I like that, but I still want Morgan with the group. I think it's awesome seeing Morgan and Carol in the armor ready to kick some savior ass. Let's back it up to the trash truck. It's not bad enough that they live in an actual trash heap. They live in a junkyard, but they're driving around in a trash truck, really a garbage truck. Man, that's that's horrible. What? And they got bicycles too. At first I thought it was the saviors. I'm like, how many Dwights do they got, man? Look at all those motorcycles, but it's a bunch of bicycles, and they got that damn trash truck. But obviously the heapsters are uniting. So if we look at some, you know what, I'm going to save this. I have something that's from the comic. It's not a major spoiler, but if they go that direction, it might become it. So let's burn through the trailer, and then for those who want to hear it, I will give a spoiler warning for the comic book. Anyway, so we see that they are blocking the road with the cars. So Rick he's not bullshitting anymore. He's not going and talking to the other communities. It looks like maybe he has already sent word to the hilltop, because Jesus is seen with Maggie later on, and she looks fine in a new jacket. But they're blocking the road, so they're not doing anything sneaky about it. Now here, it has me kind of wonder, does Dwight tell them? Negan already suspects you guys because Eugene already said something, or something like that, because why wouldn't Rick utilize the advantage of Negan thinking that Rick is still his bitch or still playing along? Now we know that Negan knows, a bird is in his ear, but Rick doesn't know that unless Dwight tells him. We'll save that for the review, but we see trees in the road. I think Dwight, we also hear Dwight says, I could slow them down. Now this might be them playing with us, but I think maybe Dwight does tell them what roads they're going to take, what paths they usually go, and he says, listen, you knock down these trees, it can slow them down from getting here. Now why do they need that? I think it's because they need the Kingdom people and the Hilltop people to show up, to bring their forces to Alexandria, because this is the first place the Saviors are going to go. And this is also going to add to why I think you can actually have a lot of all-out war play out in Season 8. Because a lot of people aren't realizing, or at least I'm not seeing it discussed much, it's not just about Alexandria and the Saviors. Even if the Saviors retreat after the season finale, what if they go to attack the hilltop? What if they're like, okay, Rick wants to unite the communities, let's go after the Kingdom. Those communities are going to want to get back to their places to hold up. So who's going to get attacked and where? So that adds a little bit more to the story and fills it out. Now when they got the trees in the road, Simon has a Negan jacket. Did you see that? I thought that was great. I love it. We got Sasha. She's still breathing. She's walking next to Eugene. It looks like Eugene is standing. You can see just a shoulder that looks like Eugene. He's standing at the gates with Negan. So maybe Negan's like, look, I got my little puppet. It got me iffy because it's like, is he using Eugene to hurt Sasha somehow or do something in that way? I don't know what it would be, but because we know what's coming up. We're going to talk about that in the comic book stuff. I'll save that for the end. But we see them setting up the guns, and they're preparing for a straight-on attack. When Negan and gang get there, they're going to see the cars are blocking the road. So Rick is just preparing for a straight-on fight. So I'm starting to think that maybe Dwight does tell him something. Rosita has a look at the gate, and I think that's when they reveal that Sasha's still alive. They bring Sasha out. No, I didn't write it down, but we see Michonne make a look too, and that is a look of terror. Maybe something goes bad, and again, we're going to save that for the end. And then we see the shopping carts next in the trailer, and this is where I think it's weird, because I think Morgan actually pushes the shopping carts in the road, like, remember, Richard did. And then I'm thinking, well, why would he do that? That's only going to stop people who are coming and going in the kingdom's path, you know. So maybe Morgan did that, protecting the entrance to the kingdom. If any saviors came that way, they would have to stop, move the shopping carts, and then Morgan would come out and Donatello ninja kick the damn rabbit their asses, you know what I'm saying? So he could spear them in the back of the head. So I think that was his plan, and that's when Ezekiel approaches him and says, hey, you know what, unite with us, fight with us, don't stay out here and pick them off one by one, you know, get blood on your hands, come with us, Carol will make you some cookies, it'll be alright, Morgan. And then we see Maggie. This is when we see Maggie and Jesus in the new coat, and I think this is cool. I have no idea what the hell they're doing in the woods though. If they're traveling from one place to the other, I think that would be great, because I want Maggie there for the Sasha. Whatever happens with Sasha, I want Maggie present. So I'm hoping that this Jesus and Maggie moment in the woods, I'm hoping they're bringing Maggie. I didn't see her in the trailer at Alexandria. If I missed her, I hope I missed her, but I didn't see her there. And then we see Daryl and Dwight. Now Daryl, it looks like he pulls a knife on Dwight, and I think this is just them having a pissing match. You know, they'll measure their wangs later on and all that happy horse shit. But yeah, obviously they're not going to see eye to eye, and Daryl's just going to fight the urge to want to kill him. But so in this episode, comic book spoiler free, hold on, don't leave just yet, but what we're going to get the communities uniting, most likely the other communities on the outskirts, like who's not like the garbage people, they're already there from the look of it. So the other communities, they're sending word, they're bringing the communities to Alexandria to take Negan on when he gets there. Negan's going to be concocting some type of plan, talking Sasha into something, bringing Sasha. They're going to get stuck in the road. That's going to delay things. So this is how the episode's kind of going to play out, where it's a timed thing, you know, and that's going to be important. I can't mention why, though, because that's a part of this comic book, or at least we think it is. I think it is. And because I didn't think about it until we saw that tree in the road type shit with slowing them down. And then the Negan and the Saviors are going to get there. There's going to be a little skirmish, and then the skirmish will be over. There will probably be a couple people dead, but it's looking like it might just end, hopefully somewhere where I talked about before, where we might get another lineup at the end of this season. Come on. How cool would that be? You ended season 6 with a lineup. Fans were, rightfully so, annoyed, not because it was a cliffhanger, because the way it was filmed, it should have been through the eyes of Rick Grimes, okay? End of story. So we knew it was a cliffhanger, we could prepare ourselves. But how awesome would that be if it was a cliffhanger at 6, season 7, episode 1, it was, I'm sorry, not a cliffhanger, On Their Knees, season 7, episode 1, On Their Knees, and then season 7, episode 16, the season finale, On Their Knees again. I love that idea. It's not going to happen that way, because I don't think you can close out this season and give them the conclusion and then kick it off into the next season without messing with the flow of the story. But with that said, we're going to dive into a couple comic book spoilers, so if you don't mind, stay right there. If you do, unfortunately, we'll have to part ways right now. But before you go, smash that hoe of a like button down below, whatever. Anyway, 3, 2, 1, we're getting into comic book spoilers. It's minor stuff, but I think it will play a part in the coming episode. When Simon was walking with his Negan jacket and they had the trees there blocking the path, the first thing that popped into my head is, okay, we have the kingdom and it looks like they're coming to Alexandria to help out. We have the Saviors on their way, but they're kind of stalled. So maybe the Saviors get there, the skirmish breaks off, we're going to have the Holly death scene with Sasha. I don't want her to go, but I understand it's her time, you know. It should have been Rosita, but anyway, you get the Holly moment. And we got either Tara, who else? Rosita. I think Rosita's a good pick. Eugene's, no, not Eugene, but there was somebody else. I'm missing somebody else. It's not Maggie, but one of them might get bit by the Holly Sasha. That's what we're going to call her. And then a little war will break out. I don't think there will be too many casualties, but a nice little war starts breaking out, and that is when the kingdom finally arrives. Just like in the comic book. In the comic book, it was the kingdom and Jesus. Man, I want Maggie there, so I'm hoping the kingdom arrives. Maybe the kingdom's meeting up with the Hilltop, and they're going to meet Alexandria together. That would be awesome. I want to see Maggie coming up over the hills, and I want that scene where Negan looks over and he's like, Rick, you son of a bitch, Maggie's alive? I wanted to tap that. No, I mean... yeah, it's a whole combination of things I really want to see at the end of the finale there, and I'm not even thinking about where the story's going to end, because me personally, I'm fine with just the group fighting back, ending the episode knowing that this is it, we're going to war, and then I swear if they do not promote the next season as All Out War, I will buy a Comic-Con ticket just to jump kick some motherfuckers, because that is crazy. That shit is nuts. They should have promoted No Way Out. That's like perfect marketing. We know it's coming. I mean, you knew it was coming by some of the trailers, because they showed walkers all around the dun-dun-dun. Build it up, you know? They should have had a promo, like they film it where it's not a part of the episode, but it's symbolic for what's going to happen. They should have had Rick or something in the house. You could even do a nice little song, or they could have done a nice little happy time song, I don't know, but life is fine for Rick. He's all smiling, he's all clean shaven, and he's dressed nice in clean clothes, and as he's turning around with the happy time song, it gets darker in the room, and he's turning towards the window, and he just like morphs into a sweaty, bloody, distraught looking Rick. It goes from the smiles to cries, and he looks out the window, and the happy song, it's playing slower now, and now it's really dark and creepy sounding, but it's still the same song. And then the camera zooms out the window, it follows Rick's eyes. We don't stay with Rick, follows his eyes, and there's just walkers everywhere, and it's like, I don't know why I even went into that. That's long dead and gone, but man, do some shit with All Out War. I don't care. Just have the promo, Rick going, and then be like, All Out War. Season 8. All right, I'm done. That's all I got. I'm sure there's more I want to say, but that's all I remember, and that's all I wrote down. So, subscribe, because I'm definitely going to be talking about this more if you're new here. If you're not new here, you know what's coming. Well, you probably don't, because I'm random as shit. But every week we talk about The Walking Dead. That's not random. All right, thoughts and opinions, theories, and predictions in the comment box. I'm done talking. It's your turn. Right there. I'm poking out your eye. I'm touching your eyeball right now. Ooh, I touched it. Ooh. All right, I'll shut up.
Subscribe now.